Hey, this is GemmyD's on Cars.
Hey everybody, this is Dan for GemmyD on Cars. Hope everybody had a wonderful Christmas. I wanted to do a video on the top 10 moments I had in the year of 2017 for GemmyD on Cars. How was everybody's Christmas? I hope it went really well. Here's how my daughter's Christmas was.
Oh.
Look at that!
Because milk.
He was hungry.
Look at that.
You can touch it if you want.
Isn't that awesome?
I always dreamed about that.
Yeah.
Now, we're going to get right into it. So number 10. Number 10 was when my buddy Will and I went to go drive some Corvettes at the Chevy Ride and Drive in Harrisburg in August. Now, this video only has 71 views. I wish it had more. We had such a good time. I got to drive a yellow Stingray Corvette. It was like 100 degrees outside. I was sweating my balls off, but it was a good time. So here's a little clip of that. Alright, so number 9. Number 9 is when my other neighbor Jason and I drove his Volvo XC90, and we did the whole pilot assist where the car drives itself for you. I was blown away by the technology. I feel like once all cars have this, it won't be as cool, but it's definitely something that's in the news this year, and I had a blast with this car and with Jason, so here's a clip of that. The one thing that I wanted to try out on these XC90s is the pilot assist, which is it's a version where the car will drive itself.
Okay, press that, and then press the right button, and then you're in pilot assist. So if you let go,
Oh my god. Oh my
you
god.
can get your feet here off the gas. So yeah, I mean it keeps you in the lane, and
Oh
yeah, it was trying to go off the.
Oh.
It senses the lines. It's not. So yeah, there
Okay.
you're back in.
I'm not driving. My hands are off. That is so weird, but cool.
So yeah, if, I mean we're on a straightaway now, but if we would go around a slight turn or if there's cars merging, it will slow up.
Okay, so now number 8 is from this summer in July. This video has almost 2,000 views, which is pretty solid. I feel like any video with over 1,000 views, I feel happy with. I'm okay with that. So this is when we went to drive the Maserati Levante S, and I was blown away by the sound of this car. You could see the expression on my face. I was like, it just sounded so good. This is when we went to Cars and Coffee at the Alfa Romeo dealer, and we had a good time. And we got to drive this Maserati because Will was in the market for an SUV, and that was there. And thanks to Laura for taking us out for a drive. I was very surprised by this car, so I enjoyed this one a lot. So that's number 8. FedEx, get out of the way. That is incredible. That is an incredible sound.
That is a nice note.
If you play with the paddle shifters, you can get it to make wonderful noises.
That was a pop. That was pop.
Very nice.
I heard crackles.
It's easy.
Okay, now number 7 is from March. This is one of the first vlogs that I actually did for the whole channel. It was when I drove the BMW i3. It was my neighbor Steph's, who lives right behind me. This video has almost 18,000 views, so this one did very, very well for me. But I was definitely impressed with this car with the performance, number 1. I think the styling is cool. It's quirky. I mean, it's a funky looking little egg-shaped car. But I enjoyed it so much. It was the first time I ever drove an electric car. This is the first car that ever had that regenerative braking that I ever drove. That was something totally new and something I had to get used to. I mean, the acceleration was awesome. For only 170 horsepower, it actually flew like a rocket. I mean, the instant torque was so fun. So I really had fun with this one. I got to take my parents along with me on this one. Will got to try it. He really liked it too. So this is one of the most memorable reviews that I did this year. So 18,000 views, did very well. So I had a great time with this one. Alright, so I've been driving this car for like a minute now, and it's crazy, okay? It's absolutely silent, obviously because it's electric, but one thing this car has is called regenerative braking, and meaning I press on the gas pedal to drive, but when I take my foot off the gas, the car will immediately slow down. I'll show you up at the stop sign, but it's crazy. I mean, you can do 1 foot driving. I'm gonna get on the highway. I'm gonna punch it and see what she feels like. All right, here we go. It feels like you know what it sounds like an airplane. Yeah, like an airplane taking off. Okay, I'm going 65.
I don't know, man. This is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
After this little test drive here, you know, and if you could afford it, if you have the time, I mean, why not?
Yeah. Alright, so number 6 is all the Ferraris that I saw at the Cars and Coffee. Now, there was a couple that I knew that they were, you know, I saw a 458 Italia, which is my absolute dream car. I mean, if I hit the lottery today, I would go out and buy an E39 M5 and a 458 Italia. It's just perfect. It's just Italian perfection. But I also saw a 360. But the one thing that I was surprised that I would see, and I didn't even know what it was at the time until I looked it up, was a 365 GTB4 car that was in the 24 Hours of Le Mans. That car was like $5.5 million at auction. So I mean, I saw this car driving into the Cars and Coffee while we were going there, and I was like, oh, that must be a rare Ferrari. But $5.5 million. That was easily the most expensive car that I think I saw throughout the whole first year of GemmyD on Cars. And then later in the show, I saw a 430 Scuderia 16M, which they're like $400,000. They're super rare. It was commemorated for the 16th F1 championship win a Ferrari ever had. That car was absolutely stunning. So those were all the nice Ferraris that I saw. I hope to see a lot more in the future for GemmyD on Cars. If I'm ever lucky enough to see one or sit in one or drive one, I would be a life goal complete. So that is number 6.
Testarossa?
All you have.
I know.
V12.
That's a lot of
Dream Cars. 458. Resale red.
What's his name? Claire?
Yeah. What are they?
Dude, I gotta go look. Just.
There's a nice little 360 Spider. Shifter.
You're supposed to be like the know-all.
I know. There's lights on the third light on the top. I think is like aftermarket.
Yeah.
Think about it.
That's cool, man.
No matter what.
I love the steering
I'd
wheel.
like to have 2, but it's gonna suck. Here's the thing, though.
Baby.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Hey. Leather.
Uh-huh. Look, the LaFerrari is here. Look at it.
That's the coolest baby I've ever seen.
Okay, so number 5 is all the relationships and dealings that I had with the Alfa Romeo dealer. I got to drive an Alfa Romeo Giulia, which was awesome. I got to go to their launch event with my dad in the summer. My Giulia video has like 1,200 views, which is pretty solid. But then I got to test drive and do a review of a Alfa Romeo Stelvio with my dad also. So that makes it even more special that I got to share these two things with my dad. My Stelvio video has like 4,400 views, which is pretty solid. I love that car. I had a good time with it, and it was even better that I got to share it with my dad. So that is number 5. I also got to see a Quadrifoglio at the dealer at the Cars and Coffee, or no, at the release event that was there, and they got to do some revs. The guy that owned it started it up and put it in race mode and got some revs. So that was awesome. That was the first Quadrifoglio I've ever seen in person. Actually, maybe the second after the auto show, but it was great to form some relationships with the people at the Alfa Romeo dealer. I did like 3 or 4 vlogs there, so that was probably the most common thing I did other than driving Volvos. So that is number 5.
The FCA group does use Pirelli when it comes to this.
Hopping out of the Giulia. Very nice. This particular car that I drove is a gray one with the nice Quadrifoglio wheels. There they are right there. The logo is going to start rippling a little bit.
Hey everybody, this is Dan, and today I'm driving a special car. It is an Alfa Romeo Stelvio TI. Look at this thing. My dad is with me today. He's a big fan of this car. Alright, so moving on. So number 4 is when, in July, when Will and I went to drive my buddy John's Honda Civic Type R. Now this video has done pretty well for me. It's got over 4,000 views. And the other funny thing is that John's wife, Steph, is the lady who has the BMW i3, so I drove both of their cars. But anyway, the Civic Type R, easily the nicest Honda I've ever been in. Those red bucket seats that were in this car were the absolute most perfect seats I've ever sat in. It was a 6-speed. You know, this car's come back to the United States after being away for 20 years. One of the best handling cars I've ever been in. When John was at the wheel, you know, I made that funny look with my face. We got airborne twice. He said as much as he pushes the car, he cannot get it to oversteer. It was just, I've never driven a car that was so planted to the road. I mean, even when he was driving it, I mean, he was beating the shit out of it, and it did not skip a beat. So this car I was so impressed with. I'd love to drive its competitors in the coming year. I'd love to get my hands on like a Focus RS or an STI or even a Golf R, Joe. But anyway, I love this car so much. The styling is crazy. It's out there. I respect Honda for doing that. But this is truly a special moment that we had this year on GemmyD on Cars. So here's a clip of that.
I gotta say, John, I'm pretty jealous. I mean, this seems like a spirited, fun driving car. I mean, driving this every day would be awesome. That's incredible. Wow. That's incredible. This definitely is the, like you said, Dan, like the best handling that car like I've ever been in.
Yeah. I've yet to be able to make the car understeer.
Yeah.
I've pushed it through corners that in other cars I've plowed and definitely felt copious amounts of understeer. With this thing, I've gone through corners where I've intentionally kinked it and throttled into it all the way, and the car just hooks and goes. And I don't know if that's because of the helical limited slip, the suspension architecture, what the scoop is.
Alright, so we're finally at the top 3. Number 3 is from September when I drove my buddy Chris's Jaguar F-Type V6 convertible. This was a fun vlog because number 1, we were fighting the rain that was coming, and then we actually ended up driving through the rain. But I was blown away by the sound of this car. The V6 was absolute perfection. I mean, I didn't know a V6 could sound that good. It was cool to drive it as a convertible. I don't drive convertibles very often. It was cool because, I had been talking to Chris for months and months saying, hey, whenever he lives in North Carolina, and was like, whenever you come up to PA, bring the Jaguar and I'll take it for a ride. And we hung out with him and his wife. Hey, Abby. But that was a great car. I love the car. And one of the things I pointed out in the video is that when you are looking for a car of this caliber, you've got the sound, the performance, and the looks. And this car easily had all three of those. So this was, I guess you could say, not one of the most expensive, but one of the more rarer cars that I drove this year. So this was a real treat. Thanks, Chris, if you're watching this, for letting me drive your Jag. So here's a little bit of that. Alright, cold start, Jaguar F-Type. Wow. Dude, that's crazy. Wow. Alright, let's hit the road.
And don't be scared to wind it out.
What else can give you the sound, the performance, and the looks? Those are the big three that I would look for if I was in the market for the car. The sound, the Okay, so number two. My number two favorite moment from this year of GemmyD on cars was when I did my 5 things I love about my car. This car has far and away the most views of the whole channel. It's got 34,000 views. 34,000 people decided to watch something that I created. It's kind of still blows my mind that I had that kind of reach. I mean, this was all the way from back in February, almost a year ago. And I remember it was a Friday. I had off of work. It was a beautiful day. I was in shorts and a t-shirt washing my car in February in Central PA, which doesn't happen very often. So even at this point, my channel was only 1 month old, so I was still teaching myself how to edit videos and what to do, and I was still going around with what program I was going to use. But I had fun with this one. I love my car. I was talking about the things I love about it, and it's still crazy that something of mine has been viewed that much on YouTube. So this was definitely a special moment for the channel. I've got 74 comments on this, 156 thumbs up, so I appreciate that. But yeah, this was a great video, by far and away my number one video at the moment. Hopefully it will be eclipsed by something else that I create in the coming years. So that was number 2. So here's a look at that.
Hey, this is GemmyD's on Cars.
So, number 1, the first thing I really like about this car is the daytime LEDs that are running. Now the only way for you to see this on the vlog is if I am in the car and it's in drive, so I'm going to show you that. And along with the headlights, I really dig the taillights too. Front and rear are LED lights. That was updated for 2016.
Alright, so we finally got to the end, and my number 1 favorite moment of 2017 for GemmyD on Cars was right here. Yeah, I'm not wearing this shirt for no reason. It was when I took my neighbor's BMW M3 out for a review. I did 2 videos on this. My first one is from December 5th or 6th, and I've only had like 50 or 60 views for both of them, which kind of blows my mind. I mean, it's such a nice car. But if you haven't noticed, go watch the video. I was a little bit smitten with this car. You've obviously got the pedigree of the M3. I'm a diehard BMW fan. You got the power, twin turbo V6. You got the sound. I mean, I was a little hesitant to push it because it's not my car, but I mean, you could tell that I had a great time and I absolutely enjoyed it. It was definitely my favorite car that I drove this year. There's so many cars that I drove that I had a great time with. This one kind of stuck out from the rest. I mean, you could tell at the end. I said I only have a couple blocks left. I'm almost home. I was sad to give the keys away, but thanks to Dave for letting me take his M3 out. It was kind of funny how the situation worked in that I was all set to drive his car on a Sunday, I think, after Thanksgiving, and then it got canceled for some reason. Either he or I had to do something else, and I wasn't even expecting to do it on the day that I did, and I got a text that said, "Hey, when do you want to take the M out today?" And I was like, how about now? So I ended up taking this car out. I did a POV video and I did a full review. Just a great car. It's got the sound, the performance, the looks, like I said, the pedigree of BMW M. So yeah, that was my favorite moment from 2017 for GemmyD on cars. Hope to have a lot more special moments coming out in 2018. Hope you, if you're watching this, are having a good year. Hope you have a happy holidays. Hope you have a good 2018. Here we go. Pulls and pulls and pulls. I need this. I need this in my life. There's people in my way. Alright, that was 5,000. That was getting up there. So that's it. Those are my favorite moments. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I had fun making this one. If you're new to the channel, go out and take a look at those vlogs that I mentioned on this top 10. I'll do some links in the description. But I hope you enjoyed this. And if you're new, please like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. See ya.